Hi folks, welcome back to Englishngo, a place where you learn English through fun, and it's a world of wonderful and exciting stories. And we have loads and loads of stories coming on your way. Stay tuned, stay with me, get on board, and let's make some noise in English. There is something called politeness principles in English or in any language. As Tamilians, we don't practice that much. Politeness principles in our language. Culturally, it is not there with us, but in Western world, it's very, very important. If you are not polite, that is considered to be rude. So we need to understand this cultural difference. When I was doing my master's, Professor James Sundar was dealing with social linguistics. He was the one who handled that particular paper. And he was explaining, he was narrating an interesting story to us that day in one of our classes, and I'm going to share that with you. A lady, an American lady who was visiting India, came to Tamil Nadu and she wanted to visit Mamalapuram. She hired a taxi and she went all the way to Mamalapuram. And actually, it's not just a lady, it's a couple, senior citizens. And they were heading back to Chennai. To Taj Kanimara, I think that's where they were put up. And on the way, when they started from Mahabalipuram, it was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the whole day in a hot sun, a sunny day, they were walking a lot. This lady felt a little bit tired, and she had a headache, I think, and she was asking the driver politely, driver, could you please, Mr. Murugan, his name was Murugan, I still remember, Mr. Murugan, could you please stop at a coffee shop? I have a headache, I feel like drinking a cup of coffee. And this driver said, yes ma'am, sure, I will stop. And the car went on and on and on. Many coffee shops were passing by, and this lady couldn't understand why this man isn't stopping, and she was again asking, Mr. Murugan, could you please stop? I have told you long before that I need a cup of coffee. And he said, yes ma'am, I'm looking for a good coffee shop. I will stop it. I'll stop the car when it is the right time. And again another 10 or 15 minutes passed, and this time she's like, her head was she was feeling as if her head was exploding. It was excruciating pain, and so she decided, okay, this is time. Aren't you going to stop? There is a shop over there. Stop please. And she was yelling because it was extremely rude, but she couldn't tolerate her pain, and that forced her to yell at the driver, and the driver immediately stopped. And that's the cultural difference. If you ask somebody with a please, Professor James Sundar said it in a very humorous way. We were all laughing. I'm not able to repeat that, kind of imitate him. So it doesn't sound like a joke, but this is what had happened. This is what he wanted to communicate, and I'm trying to explain that and spoiling the joke, by the way. So the driver, when he was asked to stop the car politely, he didn't understand that, because nobody has ever spoken to him that way, or nobody usually speaks to him that way. Driver, anga vandi nirthupa, stop the car there. So it's all commands. So that's how, or that's what he was used to. So that's the reason why he didn't stop. And when she shouted, he didn't take it as an offense, but he understood that, okay, this is the time I need to stop the car, and he stopped the car immediately. So this is the cultural difference between the West and East, or the Indian languages. Like in Tamil, we don't have that kind of politeness markers. So when we go to US, or when we go to Europe, or when we go to UK, our guys and our folks face this problem. If they go and if they don't use please or thank you or you're welcome, then that is considered to be an extremely offensive way of speaking or communicating. And people may think or might think that you are a very rude person. But you can see in 1 or 2 movies about this, particularly in English, I think. Sridevi goes to New York, and for the first time she goes to a coffee shop, Starbucks, I think, on her own, alone. And when she asks, I want one coffee or something like that, the lady in the counter, she would say, please, say please. And when she says please, then only she delivers the coffee. And when Sridevi tries to walk back without saying thank you, and the lady in the counter refuses to give her the change, and Sridevi couldn't understand that cultural difference first, and then the lady points out, teaches her, thank you. I think this is how the scene goes. It's long back. That means say thank you. And when Sridevi says thank you, only then she gives the change. So this is a very, very important cultural difference. There is nothing wrong in following it. We need to take the good elements from other cultures. So that's very, very important. So when we meet somebody, when we talk to someone, please say please. Could you please say please? And whenever you get something from someone, please say thank you. And when someone says thank you, please say you're welcome. So please, thank you, and welcome are three magic words that can make your communication and make your life much more fun, much more meaningful, much more it makes you and others around you very happy. And politeness goes a long way. It can win a lot of deals, it can win a lot of favors, and if you can do that with big broad smile and cheerfulness in your body language and in your face, then you can rule the world. So please remember these three magical words and try to use them as much as possible, to children, to elderly people, to your colleagues, to your subordinates. It doesn't matter who are these people, but ask anything. Whenever you want anything, ask nicely and politely. Say please. Could you please give me a cup of coffee? Could you please get me a cup of water? Could you please file this sheet of paper, document? You can. Could you please is the phrase, it's the mantra. And when somebody does something for you, please don't forget to say thank you. And when someone thanks you, never ever forget to say you're welcome, it's my pleasure. Please don't mention it. So these are all what we call politeness markers in language, in communication skills. They are extremely important. I hope you got the message. Let's try our level best to improve ourselves. So English is not just vocabulary and grammar and phrases and idioms. It's a holistically we have to learn. So there is no order for my topics. Whenever something strikes my mind, I'm going to post a video like this. So I hope you enjoy it. Take care. Have a good day.